In this video, we're looking at an application of decimals. Beginning at sunrise, the temperature rose 2.8 degrees per hour. How long did it take for the temperature to rise a total of 19.18 degrees? So you think about this, it's going 2.8 degrees, 2.8 degrees, 2.8 degrees, 2.8 degrees, 2.8 degrees, 2.8 degrees, all the way from the beginning to a total of plus 19.18 degrees. So whatever it was at the start, plus 19.18. So this is division. We're saying how many times did it have to go up? So we're going to divide 19.18 divided by 2.8. So let's put that into some long division. The first thing we have to do is move that decimal point to the end of the divisor. We have to move the decimal point the same number of places in the dividend. So we'll do that. Then we put that decimal point to bed. And now we say how many times does 28 go into 191? I like to estimate this. 30 going into 190. Or 3 going to 180, so probably about 6. Let's try that. We'll put a 6 here directly above the 1. 6 times 28 would be the same as 6 times 30 minus 6 times 2. I've done that. 6 times 30 minus 2 is the same as 6 times 28, so that's 180 minus 6 times 2 is 12. 180 minus 12 then, of course, is 168. So let's put that in there. 168, and we subtract that. We have to borrow something here, and we have to borrow 1 there. That makes that an 8, makes that 11. 11 minus 8 is 3. So we have a 3 there, and 8 minus 6 is 2. So it almost went in 7 times, but not quite. Now we bring the 8 down, the next 8. We don't bring the decimal point down or anything. That is put to bed right here. And now how many times does 28 go into 238? Let's look at that. And it takes a little thought, but we'll put in 8 here. We think how many times does 3 go into 23? It's not quite 8, but we're not quite at 3 there. We're at 28 there, not quite 30. So we'll try 8 here. 8 times 8 is 64. Carry the 6. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus the 6 is 22. We subtract that, and 8 minus 4 is 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. Now, at this point, after this decimal point, right, you can't do it with just a whole number, but after a decimal point, we can start putting in some zeros here, where they're needed. And then we can bring that down. We have a 0 there, and then we say how many times does 28 go into 140? Well, it's 5. So now I'll put 5 times 28 is 140. Of course, you can verify that. You can pause it and check it on your own. And then we subtract, and once we get down to 0, we're done. We don't have to keep going here. So the quotient is 6.85. Of course, it says how long did it take is the question. So the answer is 6.85, and it's every hour, so 6.85 hours. That's how long it took. All right, I hope that helps.